you read to them that day and they read to you and they did some math and you have that relationship built, you've had a good day. Am I doing enough? Or am I doing too much? I feel like those are the two questions homeschool parents are always asking. And today I just want to give you some thoughts on those and hopefully something that would be helpful to you. Hi, my name is Rachel. I'm a homeschool mom of 4 boys, ages 10 to 20. We are on our 15th year of homeschooling. I've graduated 2. I have a 5th grader and a 10th grader this school year. And I still can find myself asking those questions. Am I doing enough? Am I doing too much? So let's think about those. And I think the important thing first is to make sure that you have set priorities and goals for your family. I know for us, it's really teaching our boys to have a relationship with the Lord, having a good relationship as a family, and making sure that they have a love for learning. But even when I know those things, I still can be like, did he do enough reading today? Is this math program hard enough? Oh, I wanted to get that one more book in. All right, sometimes I'm thinking, is all of this really necessary? Do we have to get it all done? We as parents put a lot of pressure on ourselves, I know. And then we turn around and we see these faces looking at us, and a lot of times they just want us to go outside and see what they built. Trying to find that balance of doing enough and doing too much. And it really comes down to having realistic goals for yourself and for your kids. So I really feel like when we're thinking about our goals for our kids, I know I mentioned our family goals for us as a family and what we want to help incorporate in our children. But also each year you're going to be looking at your kids and thinking about what they need to be working on. What are your goals for them? You may have one that really needs to work on his math, and you may have one that is still struggling to read, and you may have one that does not want to write or just maybe needs help with their comprehension. Finding those goals and making sure that that is on the top of the list for each of those children. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and I will actually link it below. I can't remember all the details or he was even talking, but she was talking about, I always mention, I feel like I talk a lot about making sure that they at least have the 3 R's, especially when they're younger, which is reading, writing, and arithmetic. But she also mentioned the 4 R's. And I was like, huh. And what she mentioned was my first thought, because it was actually one of our family priorities. So it's reading, writing, arithmetic, and relationships. And I just thought that was so encouraging. And I really hope that you all keep that in your heart and mind as you finishing up this school year. What battles to choose and what to let go. How can we think outside the box to help them through this? My 10th grader had a hard time with Algebra 1 last school year, and he is coming into 10th grade, going to do Algebra 2. And my mind never thought, okay, we have a curriculum, we're using curriculum for it. Will he finish this curriculum? I mean, that's just sort of what's supposed to happen, right? Well, halfway through the year, it's looking like we're not as far as we should be, or I would like to be. So, and it started off a little rough and had some bumps through it, but it really, the past couple months has really been clicking. Last test he made 100. So now I'm at the point, I have 2 choices. I could be like, all right, let's push this. Let's do a couple lessons a day. We need to get through this curriculum. May is coming soon. Or I could be, let's just keep moving forward. We're progressing one day at a time. Let's just keep learning. Let's not destroy what we've already accomplished, because with kids, the more you push them, the more they're gonna step back and regress, okay? So especially with the academics, and they may lose that joy or that love for learning. Now, I know there's some subjects that they're passionate about and they'll work night and day, but I can tell you, for him, it's not going to be Algebra 2. So I don't want to lose the rhythm that he has. So we're just going to keep moving forward, and we'll see where we are at the end of the year. I only have a certain amount of time left with my teen. And I know that for a fact because I have graduated too. So we are doing enough with that. And that can relate to so many different things, so many different subjects. And I do really believe reading, writing, arithmetic, when they are younger, especially, and you have younger ones and you haven't got to that history or that science, but you read to them that day and they read to you and they did some math and you have that relationship built, you've had a good day. And there will be the days where you're able to get a little bit more in. Okay, what if you feel like you're doing too much and it's 5 o'clock, dinner's not ready, not even sure if you got all the schooling in? That's when you really need to step back and reevaluate your family priorities, your children's goals and priorities that you had for them. Because sometimes we can see that really pretty curriculum and maybe we've pulled that in, or maybe we have a couple activities we're doing because all the friends are doing it. And maybe your family's in a situation where it's just a little bit too much at this time. It's not that the activity's not any good or the curriculum's not any good, it's just too much. So you really just need to step back and reevaluate and start by thinking, what did I need to be working on? What was the priority for my child or children? And make sure that you're getting that in. Maybe you just need to take a week and just work on that and think, okay, now I need to add this back in. Just sort of start over. And I really think that would be okay, even if it's in the middle of the school year, to take a break, step back, let's work on the most important things, and whether it be reading or writing or math, and it might look different for each child. Maybe just get up and do Bible and a read aloud and just do the priorities. And then as you get in a rhythm, you can start adding back in the other subjects and just see what works best. You might need to combine some subjects like science and history, or you may need to be just working on science one day and history another. I have a friend who said that that's what she's doing right now, and I think that's great. Or maybe you're working with an older one who just needs to be a little bit more independent. Maybe you need to just really sit down with him and maybe daddy too and just talk to him about, okay, let's see what you can do on your own, and give them that independence. Make sure you're including all the kids in the chores and the work around the house. Let them know that you need their help and that this is a team effort. We've talked to our boys about that over the years so many times about being, they want to be the best on the team, right? So this is the team you need them to be the best on, and just really encourage them and let them see that you need them just as much as they need you. So I hope that was encouraging and made sense. You know, there's things that we've had to say no to, like extracurricular activities. Maybe I had a baby. There was no way I could be running around doing all these things. But I would just try to find some things at home and I really think that helped my boys become more creative with their ideas and the things that they could do on their own outside. So, but I know it's hard because sometimes we want to compare ourselves with somebody who seems like they have it all together and that they are doing all of it and their house is spotless and they make the best dinners. And I think we forget that each of us has our own circumstances. Each of us have different children. Our husbands have different jobs. Some of them are home. Some of them are gone all week. And every family is different in their circumstances and what God has given them to do and what they can handle. We really can't compare and say, well, they're doing it all. Let them do it all. It doesn't mean that that is what God has planned for you and your family and your children. Your children want you. They don't want everybody else's plans. So just keep that in mind. And they want that relationship with you, and you want to help grow the relationship in the Lord. So, and there will be different seasons where you will be able to do a little bit more, or you may not be able to do anything extra at all. So keep that in mind. if you feel like you're doing way too much, it just might be a season where you're just going to have to slow it down and come back to whatever the extras were later. All right, I hope this video was helpful in some way. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. I appreciate you all watching, and I really do hope you all have a wonderful week, and we will talk to you again soon.